Hey, it's Wildjosh from Geek-Cetera, and I wanted to come on and talk about a theory for The Mandalorian. I can't believe it. I'm really excited. It's only a week away, and I really wanted to talk about The Mandalorian because I have some theories on it. So specifically, I want to talk about his origins and where he possibly came from.
We're going to talk about geeky things.
Woohoo!
So, like I mentioned earlier, only a week away, The Mandalorian is going to be coming out on Disney Plus streaming service. I'm really excited. There's been a lot of intrigue about The Mandalorian, especially the main character, which all we know is he is The Mandalorian. Now, we got a lot in the second trailer that came out, but kind of asked a lot more questions from what we saw than answered questions. So what I wanted to do is talk about his backstory, his origin, where he could be from, what he might be. Now, the most prevalent theory based around him right now, that I've seen anyways, is that there is a scene that we're gonna show that has a woman and man. Actually, the actor, the man, who's, if you go to IMDb, you can see in the credits, the man, he's listed as father. His name is Bernard Bullen, and mother Alexandra Mania, and they're wearing red cloaks, and there's a young child, dark-haired, wearing a red outfit as well. That actor is uncredited as I can find so far. Nothing lists his name anywhere, or the actor's name either, which is a little suspicious. As they may be trying to hide that information. So the most prevalent theory is that is a flashback. The giveaways that it could be a flashback is the fact that we see B-2 battle droids in the background storming into the area. That is old tech. If this is, which The Mandalorian is supposed to be taking place at 9 ABY, which is after the Battle of Yavin. So the time frame The Mandalorian is supposed to be fitting into is not long after the events of Return of the Jedi. So about 9 years after the Battle of Yavin is what we're being told. So for B-2 battle droids to still be in existence and being used, I guess it's possible, but they would be old tech at that time. So many people are theorizing that this is a flashback scene, and that the young boy could be the Mandalorian himself, and the ones listed in the credits as father and mother would be his parents. Now, that is, I actually like that theory. I think that's the most plausible theory. The only thing that it makes me curious about it is the fact that if you look in the credits, like I mentioned, those two actors that play mother and father are listed in 4 episodes of the series. So that's more than just a quick flashback. It'd be a flashback that they would recur to regularly, because I believe the whole thing is only 8 episodes. So if they're in half the episodes, it would be more than just a quick flashback in one episode. It would be a reoccurring flashback that happens throughout the series. And that also the most prominent theory is that the events that we're seeing in that flashback would be the Siege of Mandalore. And that makes sense. It would have been, battle droids would have been present at that time. Maul would have been present as well, because Maul was involved in the Siege of Mandalore. And time-wise, it fits as well. The Siege of Mandalore took place roughly 19 years BBY before the Battle of Yavin. So if we figure that young child at the time, maybe he's 6, and you add 19 years, then you add another 9 years, that means you got a 34-year-old in The Mandalorian. Pedro Pascal is actually 44, but he could probably play off 34, especially if we don't really see his face that much. How do you know? He looks ageless at that point. So the timelines all match up for that to be the case, that to be a flashback scene, and that to even coincide with the Siege of Mandalore. The thing that throws me off is that the mother and father do not look, to me, like Mandalorians. I've never seen, and we have seen Mandalorians in several different areas now of canon, if you include what we've seen in Clone Wars and Rebels, but also in Legends, we've seen Mandalorians a lot in the Old Republic series and things like that, and I've never seen Mandalorians dressed like that, with cloaks. They almost look like they belong to they're more civilian people, and Mandalorians were known as warriors. Fierce. So I would be surprised to see them in tunics, almost with a religious look to them, the way that they're wearing those tunics. So here's my theory. Now, I like the theory that it could be around the siege of Mandalore, but I'm not 100% on it. I do believe the events that are taking place, though, there are around the same time period. What we're seeing is a flashback to the Mandalorian, his mother, his father, and himself. And the B-2 battle droids are attacking this town or these people. And I believe that time period to be around the events of the Siege of Mandalore. But they could be several years earlier or several years earlier or around the same time. And I don't believe it's the Mandalore, though. I believe it's another system, another planet that's being attacked by the Separatists, the Trade Federation, and they are that's why we see the B-2 battle droids, but it's not the Mandalorians that are being attacked. And I think that what is going to happen is either a prominent Mandalorian or Mandalorians come in and save the child, save the Mandalorian as we know him, rescue him. Maybe his parents are killed, or maybe they rescue his parents as well. But after that, he decides to become a Mandalorian because he looks up to them, because they rescued him, they saved him from the Separatists. So that's where I think his origin is going to come in. That not necessarily he was a Mandalorian from birth, but that he was a Mandalorian. He was rescued and became a Mandalorian at a young age. So that's my theory. Now, I could see it being a clan of Mandalorians that come in and save this village or save these people, fight the Separatists for them and protect them. But it could also be a singular. And I was thinking about this. The timeline would not line up for it to be Boba Fett. Boba Fett would have to be too young at the time. But, we have 10 years there. Because Pedro Pascal's 44. And so if we go back another 10 years, it could be Jango. Now, I know it seems odd. Why would Jango rescue a people from battle droids? He was on the same side as the Separatists, but Jango was a mercenary. He was paid to work with the Separatists. That's why he did the Separatist bidding. He was paid to do it. So if he was involved, maybe he was there on a job and he sees these B-2 battle droids coming into this town to destroy it and kill all these people. And he sees this little boy, and it makes him think of his own young son at the time, Boba. And he swoops in and rescues the Mandalorian and leaves him with maybe a clan of Mandalorians to raise him because his parents are no longer with us. And that's when he becomes the Mandalorian. He takes on the Mandalorian mantle. He grows up and becomes the Mandalorian. So that's my theory, is that either Jango rescues this young boy and he becomes the Mandalorian, or a Mandalorian clan comes in. Maybe it will be a clan that ties to one of the other clans that we've seen in Clone Wars or in Rebels. But either Jango or a clan comes in, rescues this young boy, brings him to their clan, and raises him as their own, and that's where he becomes the Mandalorian. But I do believe that those two, the two mother and father and the young boy that we see, are the Mandalorian and his parents. And I believe that is going to be why he decides to become the Mandalorian, is because he's been rescued by them. So I'm curious what you think. I know I don't have a lot to go on. I'm just pointing strictly to timelines. We see the B-2 battle droids, the fact that father and mother is the name of these actor and actresses. This actor and actress, I believe that might be the case. So let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your opinion. Do you have other theories on the trailer? I have a lot more. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get them out before the show comes out, but I'd love to hear what you think. And if you like the video, I'd appreciate a like if you drop it on there, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on our future theories and content that we put out, and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we put something up new. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.